Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to Mackenzie Field on this beautiful night, right around 55 degrees, where the Kalamazoo Hornets are going to be facing off against the Trine Thunder. And, you know, Maya, it's been an interesting season for the Hornets. They've played 11 games so far, sitting at 6-5. Coming into conference play, they've won a couple games, and, man, they're looking to keep that rolling. But coming off a really rough game against Hope College, they're really looking to redeem themselves. Trine, on the other hand, also having a couple rough games. Had a close one against Hope, another close one against Adrian where they pulled out the win, and then a really, really great game where they lost 7-6 against Calvin College. So both teams right now are really trying to keep their stride going, start to catch some wind in MIAA conference play. And, yeah, that's what we're looking at here tonight.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I was about to say, so both teams really just trying to kind of maintain in their stride, kind of carry momentum as much as they can. I'll tell you what, I was here earlier for softball doubleheader, and that was actually one of the things I was talking about is let's see what team can carry the momentum the best. Unfortunately, the Kalamazoo Hornets losing both of those, the doubleheader, should I say, 2-0 and then 10-0. So it was a rough one out there on the softball field, but I'll tell you what, one of the main things I was talking about is just keeping the momentum going, keeping everything in your favor, staying strong defensively and offensively. Of course, softball being different than lacrosse, but I'm just saying keep the bats alive in softball.
Yep.
I want to see some scoring here in lacrosse as well.
Definitely, and now as we're about to kick it off here, or excuse me, face it off, I mean, we see how huge of a roster Trine has against this Kalamazoo College team, and it might be a tough task for the Hornets, but again, I was talking to player Teague Breeden about the MIAA conference play, and it's really open. I mean, there are so many things, so many opportunities.
So many factors in
right,
lacrosse.
Definitely, and they're trying to manage that, consider that. I mean, anyone can come out on top this season in the MIAA. There's 7 teams. I mean, they only play 6 games and there's 7 teams, so just trying to figure that out in general. But I think we're going to let our announcer take it away real quick here as we start this game off.
Kalamazoo College, the MIAA, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by students, athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation supporting student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Now for the starting lineup for today's game. First, the visitors from Trine University. Number 4, Rocco Curtola. 11, Peter Osborne. 13, Riley Fisher. 14, Nick Frelo. Number 31, Mitchell Vogelweed. Number 33, Luke Arnold. Number 46, E.G. Minobi. Number 48, Mason Levin. Number 56, Danny Kelly. Number 77, Justin Chiverly. Coached by Ryan Kahn. Now starting the lineup for your Hornets. Number 0, Max Plesher. Number 1, Tate Bless. Number 7, Dylan Adkins. Number 8, Ronan Honda. Number 10, Jake Asnes. Number 14, Jack Bungard. Number 21, Tony Valade. Number 28, Lucas Graff. Number 33, James Daly. And number 99, T. Breeden. Coached by Grayson Ringliver. Oh, sorry, wrong coach. Vince Redco. At this time, we ask those who are willing and able, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Okay, there you have our starting lineups. And Maya, I mean, what are your thoughts about this game? I mean, you just came off a doubleheader in softball. You're probably feeling a little bit exhausted, but I mean, here we are on this beautiful night.
Yeah, no, you know what? The tacos that I got in between actually made this a lot better, so I'll say that part. But I will say I'm very excited for men's lacrosse. I feel like this and baseball is one of the teams that I haven't done that often as much as I've done softball and soccer and basketball. So I'm just excited, honestly. I keep saying the same thing, though, and I feel like the same can be true for every team. The defense has to be there and the offense has to be there. It comes down to those things. Yeah, you throw in momentum. Yeah, you throw in the other things. But at the end of the day, what needs to be top of top is defense and offense. And I know this team, when they're coming out on their best front foot, when they are playing to their best, I mean, you'd look out there and you'd be like, yeah, those are some champions out there. Those are some key kind of defying players out in the field that we're seeing that are starting today's game as well. So they just got to come in with that mindset. Come in with that, yeah, this is something that you got in the bag. And I feel like both sides kind of are trying to step into this match with that same headspace, that same, yeah, this is just something that we have to add to our win column.
Yes, 100%. And I mean, looking at the stats for this matchup, the Hornets in MIAA play have struggled a little bit with their clear percentage. This is something we're going to keep an eye on throughout this game. The loss against Hope, they had around a 55% clear percentage, a number that they would want to greatly improve today. And looking at the game against Adrian, they sat also around 69%, and on the season averaging around 80. It's a number they're going to keep an eye on, as I said, while Trine has done a great job of that. Also going to want to give credit to their goalkeeper, Luke Arnold. 62% goalkeeping. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get a shot off on this guy. It's going to be a tough one, but here we are. MIAA play. Let's see who gets the face-off. Trine's fighting for it here, but it looks like the Hornets, no. This one's still loose, my goodness. And now Plesher's with it. So Plesher passing it upfield here. Ball's still loose. I mean, just sloppy right now.
Yeah, so it wasn't Kalamazoo's possession, then continued to just go back and forth. The ball was loose for a moment. Everybody was kind of checking each other. And finally, it's going to be trying to take it away with possession.
So Chris Molnar's coming back in, swinging it around the bend here. We see Fisher from that X, trying to find an open. Here comes Kurotola. Now swinging back around here, trying to find the opening. Hornets defense has been pretty solid this season, but against Hope, a lot of things to look at there, a lot of improvements they've been wanting to make.
Yeah, right now paying close attention to kind of this defensive structure that the Hornets have, trying to figure out, okay, how are they deciding that they're going to go ahead and face off with this Trine offense?
And there you have it. Trine starting the game out hot. And that one strikes right through Maya.
Yeah, and one of the most important things, especially almost in any sport, is who can strike first. So Trine coming out here, first of all, after a bit of back and forth, finally gets possession and then scoring. I mean, you just add that. Now you know who's carrying momentum starting this game. It's about who can – now it's just going to be like who can take each other's momentum, who can switch on a dime. The Hornets right now are going to need to take some possession and score some goals.
And so after a quick goal from the Thunder, Hornets coming off this face-off, they've got around a 43% rate on those face-offs. And there, Plesher gets it again. We saw this last time around. Plesher still fighting his way through. And, man, this guy's tough. But, oh, no. Back to Trine once again.
And that one has to be just unfortunate. Plesher was bodying 4 players at a time. I mean, he was just bulldozing through 4 defenders. And then, you know, obviously after about 5 got on him, then you got the flip in possession.
And so after that flip of possession, as you said, Maya, Trine's back at it. Edwards here swings. And here comes that dodge. I mean, they keep trying to attack from the front. Has some room, slides through. Ball's still loose. But a good save there from Balad. And now the Hornets staying persistent, fight through, and they do secure the clear.
Yeah, and a great transition pass. I mean, both players just going extremely fast, and then a nice pass on the move.
And I think Graf can be credited for that great defense on the Hornets' end. And now you see this strong offensive squad out there for the Hornets. Breeden with it, 15 goals on the season. And now Plesher getting that screen. Has some room, and that one's just high. But the Hornets are going to keep it.
Yeah, and that was the right idea, right? He found his opening, he found his space, and went ahead and let go of the shot. I mean, one thing with the game being so early is why not be that aggressive? Why not look, you know, you don't have to look for that perfect opening. So if you feel like you can sneak it in, why not? I love that shot. I feel like that was a great decision.
Bless there trying to find the inside and couldn't get it to Asness. So Trine, again, some good defense there. And the rainbow across field goes to Trine, trying to secure that clear. Ball is still out, though. And, man, this is having a lot so far in this game. A lot of campfires if these players can't find it, yeah.
Everybody trying to just gain possession, but it's getting kind of messier and messier out there.
And Cheverly thankfully cleans it up for the Thunder as they get that offensive unit back out there. And Pitano swings it. Vogelwedge swings low. That one strikes through, and Pantano's on the board as well. No hesitation there.
Yeah, sub shot below the hips. I mean, that was just beautiful. And it was from a good amount of distance. Usually when you see those sub shots, it's usually pretty up close to that crease area. And right there, I mean, just full confidence. Let it rip and then snuck it into the goal. So if you're going to add to those points, that's how you want to do it. It's 2-0. Hornets got to respond. I mean, right now now you got momentum, and then now you also have goal differential. Like, you want to make sure you're not just giving up this game too early.
And that's going to be Vin Pitano's 10th goal on the season, more known as a passer, and now some body coming from Trine, but the Hornets still fighting for it. So Quinn taking his time now, has to be careful here not to let this one loose. And now he takes it back. But again, Maya, you really want to be careful here.
Yeah, Quinn had a couple good turns, and right now with possession again, he took a couple good turns, kind of evaded pretty well, and then now finally looks like he's going to get that clearance.
And Quinn, new to face-offs this season, gets some offensive playing time as well, though. So Brzezinski back to Quinn. Quinn trying to make a dodge, get some room there, but the slide comes, and that's some great defense from the Thunder.
Yeah, you can see Quinn's reaction just all the way from out here. You can kind of see him lower his head like he had that.
And Maya, another one slips through for the Thunder. That one's going to be Joshua Shaw. And, man, they're feeling it right now.
They are on fire. They are working with their rhythms. They're finding their flows. They're finding their connections. And most of all, they're seeking out the holes that the Hornets are setting defensively. I mean, the Hornets got to take – I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe there's some type of timeout or anything in general. You know what I mean? I just think that they need to take a second and look at, okay, where defensively are these matchups not kind of hitting each other where they should be?
Exactly. And on this face-off, I mean, hey, looks like he tried to get it into that offensive end, but Everham –
and I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you know, be creative. Have fun. Be creative out there, especially when you're playing a team where you need a little bit of that. So Everham kind of having that, it almost felt like a back heel pass in soccer. I mean, just complete. You did not expect it to whip it behind his head.
And so some good defense there from Graf. Results, or excuse me, that's from Sears. That one results in a turnover. Kind of pushed him out of bounds, but it was clean contact. So now the Hornets have a chance on the offensive end. But oh no, as I say that, ball is still loose. Had a chance at it, really thought about it. Asness had some room, but now it's going to have to reset with Plesher.
Yeah, exactly what I was just about to say. Asness, you've seen the hesitation. You've seen maybe he was going to take the shot, decides to hold up. Either way, gives a chance to his team to kind of set up something nice here.
Breeden, almost a great pass to Plesher, trying to set up that shot. Breeden, strangely, with 15 goals, has 0 assists on the season. kind of a number to look at there. This team really trusts their players to make some good moves. A good move there from Honda, and Honda, no good. A great save from Arnold.
And how many times do you think we're going to say that again? Again, his save percentage is just so high considering this late in the season.
And Kuratola had some space there. A little bit scary for the Hornets with how much room. But now the Thunder's going to take their time, let these players sub in and out. And I think we might get to know this offensive unit very well if the Hornets don't start to step it up a little bit on that defensive end. So still swinging the Thunder. Haven't seen a whole lot of off-ball movement here. They've just really had some great ball movement. When you see the slide come, they've been cutting, leaving an open man. Booz shots off, and that's a great save from the Hornets. Vlad, but Graf just can't pick it up. So another chance at it, the Thunder. Gonna reset. Zastrow gives it up to Booz. Booz wants another one. That one's just off. And the shot clock resets again, Maya.
Yeah, you know what? This Trine team is doing a great job of trying to open up the defense that the Hornets are setting. Obviously, Hornets kind of shifting and molding. But forcing shots like that one, like that little, kind of like that weak shot off, that's exactly what a good defense does, especially here in Lacrosse. So hats off right there for the Hornets, able to kind of switch possession based off good defense.
And that certainly stops some momentum after some great moments from Trine on that offensive end. And in a game of runs, this is very important. I mean, we talk about it in a lot of different sports where if a team gets hot, they're going to stay hot. But right there, I think the Hornets kind of fanned the flame, or excuse me, not fanned the flame, put the flame out in a little bit of a way. But back on the offensive end, Plesher with it. Bless cuts in from the X.
Yeah, I was just going to mention exactly how you said, right? Sometimes it doesn't take one big move to put out the fire.
A good shot fake there. Arnold, good save, and he dives for it. You saw Bless try to fight for it, but Arnold persistent.
Yeah, I had to pause my thought because I was kind of like, are they going to try to just kind of shove it in the goal after it came out of Arnold's?
My goodness, Pantano just completely destroys and gets through there, but a great save from Vlad doesn't matter because he cleans it up for him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, Bungart usually doesn't take hits like that, and often he's not the one on the ground, so I'd expect him to come back into the game a little bit. He might be a little bit more on it, a little bit more aggressive behind the ball.
Definitely, and this game has already been so physical. With a hit like that, going to be expecting to see that more and more throughout this game.
I think that's something that both the men's and women's lacrosse team have. Even when you look at soccer, the Hornets teams are just, they know how to be competitive without, being too aggressive, and that's something really positive to see in a team. Which team can be competitive, be aggressive, but also stay respectful.
So Molnar, top of the key, doesn't need any sort of slide. Some good defense from Sears. Now we see Pantano again with it. Moving around, a good pass there. Shots off, but another great save. This ball's still loose, and my goodness!
What was that type? Can't you give a name to that type of shot?
I don't know. It's like behind the back, behind that. Maya, that was incredible.
Yeah, that was a behind-the-back goal scored by Mitchell Vogelweed.
Yeah, Vogelweed, that's going to be his second goal on the day. And don't know what type of...
Behind the back, over the head.
Yeah, don't know what the name for that would be because, whoa.
Yeah, that was just a nice shot there. You got to give credit where credit is due. And that shot right there, really, really nice to look at. Hornets back on defense. Got to respond soon.
They do a good job of recovering after some players were left behind, I think, on that face-off. Fisher on the outside. Good pressure there from Bungart. And now back to the top here. It's a really good screen, and that one's low and through again for the Thunder, Maya. This has been a a period to remember for them.
Yeah, Caleb Edwards using his speed, using the angle to get that goal, sneak it into the goal. I mean, you would think, that one looked like Vlad had full coverage on it, and I do believe he did. Like, kind of seeing where the ball was, kind of seeing where the shot was going to end up as the Hornets call for a timeout here. But I feel like Vlad knew where that was going, but it's just sometimes when you have the angle, when you have the speed, and then you got the shot on top of that, I mean, Edwards just makes sure that he takes full advantage of that opportunity.
100% there. And I mean, Maya, it's probably a good timeout for the Hornets. They've been grappling on the defensive end, just leaving some openings. Something I've noticed is when they have the slide come, Trine just really abuses that. They've been finding the open player every time an open man is left on the field. And, yeah, that's how they get nice shots off like that.
Yeah, I will say maybe I would like to see the timeout taken around 3 goals. I feel like it's so easy to let a game get away from you. But I also understand this Hornets side. I know this Hornets team. And this is something that they can combat from, a deficit that they could definitely fight. It's just more so right now fixing kind of the energy on the field. Okay, how do we connect more of our passes? How do we kind of fight this offense that Trine has given to them? And then also just on the Trine's defense, we haven't seen a lot of it because the Hornets have yet to kind of apply that pressure. And I feel like once we start to see, okay, what's their defense looking at, then the Hornets can kind of try to answer those questions and how they kind of break and deteriorate at that defense and how they continue to stay on their offensive foot.
And really, if you look at the stats here, and we're already it's very early in this game, but a correlation I already am seeing is the turnover rates. Kalamazoo has won a majority of the face-offs, 3 out of the 5, but a lot of those times when they have possession, the crash comes from the Thunder and turns the ball over and allows them to have possessions like they have been having. Oh my goodness, on
Don't
that
worry,
offensive end.
It's Saturday. It's a nice day for some lacrosse.
It is.
So gotta enjoy it for what it is right now. The Hornets, obviously, like you mentioned, this is a good timeout to take. This is a good chance to kind of regather your team, especially so early into this game. Because then, they have time to clean it up. And so from here, let's see kind of what changes they've made. Because sometimes it's just a change of momentum. Sometimes it's just them being like, let's just go out there with a little bit more positivity. And sometimes that helps.
No, it's true. It's the small things. So Everham is going to win that faceoff. High flying pass goes to Plesher. And they do confirm the clear, but just can't turn it over. It's been a struggle for them. Saxton, man, I mean, after the fight, it's going to stay with the Hornets, but still.
Lucky a little bit right there that it was still possession with the Hornets. I mean, defensively right there, almost trying to whack it out.
So Breeden real quickly slips through after the close turnover, but no turnover nonetheless. Plesher on the attack. Spins and a low ball to Breeden. And now that one's deflected. Looks like Levin is going to be credited with the forced turnover and steal or interception. It's a better way to say it there. And now Thunder back with it.
Yeah, that one was just unfortunate because I can kind of see the idea that was brewing for Breeden there. Kind of pass it out into the X and then regain possession, let the shot go off low, maybe high even, but you would have that advantage unless, again, the deflection came in and broke up the play.
So a whole new squad out there, or a couple new players on the offensive end for the Thunder. They've got a lot of legs, so they can stay very fresh today if they would like to.
Yeah, talk about traveling like with a huge squad. I mean, if you look at the bench, huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. They're able to do that, and in some way that might play to their advantage out there.
Also beautiful weather, dragging out the crowds as well.
Edwards, some room, and a good save from Vlad. The Hornets get the leftovers and bring it to the offensive end. Those are some good moments for Vlad there. He's had some great saves on some tough shots. So Bless with it. Bless kind of camps out in that X area. He's a tall dude. I mean, he's listed at 6'4". Sometimes it doesn't feel like that. It feels taller, if anything, seeing him in person. And so he can be a formidable, a tough matchup for some players. So Quinn's back out there. Plesher is taking a quick break. Same with Breeden. Now Bless in that X area where he's been camping out. Nothing on that dodge there. Going to give it back to Quinn. Quinn looking to make a move and just loses it. This one hits him right in the head. And now on the move, Sheberly can bring it up the field to Curatola. And Curatola letting the subs come in and taking their time once again. Zastrel back out. And trying to make a move there, but nothing. The screen comes. Zastrel has to swing it. And everyone right now looks like they're trying to cut through this Kalamazoo defense. A little bit of an open shot, but no good. That one bounces. It's going to stay with Trine. But the shot from Booz is off.
Yeah, and it got even scarier because there was some sort of deflection off of Vlad. Thought maybe it might sneak into the net.
And Pintola tried to get a shot off, or excuse me, Fisher tried to get that shot off. Vlad able to have some good defense, and some good defense as well from Cale Cook out there, the freshman from Kalamazoo. Vlad swings it to Quinn. High pass to Plesher, but thankfully stays in bounds. And now they're letting that offensive squad come back in with Breeden. Looks like they're kind of taking a breath right now with 30 seconds left on this clock.
Yeah, they want to try to see if they can get the last score in.
And scoreless so far. That one was a bullet, but went straight to Arnold again. And you see Bless try to get that ball back, but now with 9 seconds on the clock, you're going to want to get something off here. Curatola, some good defense there. A nice pass. That one's just high as the clock ticks down. But here we are. Hornets 0, Trine 5. It's been an interesting one, Mike.
Oh, yeah, it has gotten started. It has gotten started hot for Trine as well. You've seen the 5 goals. You've seen how there was a behind-the-back goal, which is kind of nice to look at. So it hasn't been these simple 1, 2, 3 scores, and that's to the credit of the Hornets, right? The Hornets are able still to apply that defensive pressure and make it a little harder to score. Now, are they in the spot where they want to be? Probably not. But there has to be better ways to get it done, and I'm sure that is one of the things that they're talking about in the huddle right now.
Definitely. I think the problems have not necessarily been the defense. They've cleaned it up after that timeout in those last 4 minutes, which is what you mentioned. But I also like to mention those turnovers. Some of those turnovers have been very pivotal in the way that Trine has been taking advantage of them, getting some room, and just going downfield with it. Some of those turnovers have been on the offensive end and in transition times after the face-offs, because clears have been fine for both teams. Face-offs have been favored in the Hornets' way. Actually, 4 out of 6 have been won by the Hornets. Credit to Everham doing a good job in that aspect.
Yeah, and I did also mention, hey, you know what? Something nice today is the weather. I mean, ever since softball game 1 today at around 1 p.m., the weather has just been phenomenal. And to me, that's the best type of weather you can play softball in, is just a slight breeze, but the sun's not too hot. That's always the best to me. And I can only add to that now. I mean, it's still pretty nice out for lacrosse. Again, sun obviously going down behind some clouds, but other than that, it's not too bad. It's not the coldest we've been in. It's not raining. I mean, these are all positives to me, and I feel like it's bringing out all the supporters as well. I see some of the Kalamazoo women's volleyball team here. I see some football players in attendance as well. Obviously, traveling really well. I have a couple supporters in the crowd. So
Yeah.
a lot to look forward to. I feel like the environment's nice, and I just think that coming out of this quick break before the second period, and as we're about to begin the second period, this is kind of what you look for. You look for a good crowd to kind of help out your own momentum. So I think Hornets, if they get one score in, I feel like you kind of break it open for yourselves and open up with some more momentum.
Definitely. A lot of athletes showing up on pretty much all athletes from a lot of different teams are here today supporting the Hornets, which is great to see. The women's lacrosse team is here as well to support. They've had some success this week on the field. A fantastic game. I don't know if you saw, Maya, but
I did.
They played really well. And now Hornets are going to start with it on the offensive end. Let's see if they can get a couple shots off and hold on to the ball. Honda, now to Plesher. Plesher, the unit he is. Let's see if he can squeeze through. Now back to Honda. Honda gets a nice screen, but a good recovery from Trine. And there you have it, my goodness, Maya. A fantastic shot from Adkins, the junior from Lansing. He's on the board, and now the Hornets are on the board.
Yeah, like I said, it takes one shot to crack it open. And Atkins, if you want it to be any shot, you want it to be that one. I mean, so much speed, so much kind of just time and space for him to make his own angle, make his own opening, and then a sub shot at that. Beautiful to watch, just sides arms it, and then you almost weren't sure if it got into the netting, right? You almost weren't sure. You got to take a pause, and then once you see that number change on the scoreboard, you knew it was all right if you're a Kalamazoo Hornets supporter.
And there you see Thunder going to be giving them possession here after, I believe, just a brief holding, but not fully sure what happened there. So either way, the Thunder's going to have it. And I think it is a smart decision for the Hornets to kind of play off. You don't want to play too tight to your opponent, give them a lot of room, and there's a good strip. Ball is loose. Still fighting for it. Bungart can't get any room to find the ground ball, and Trine's going to keep it. Pantano swings back to Ballantyne. Still rotating around that X. Not a lot of cutters, not a lot of off-ball screens, just kind of rotating around, waiting for a slide. A good screen there. Gave Pantano some room to work with, but Curatano, and man, accurate today.
Yeah.
Moving the rock.
Yeah, those passes around the outside, trying to make some opening.
And Curatoa, after a nice move, shot is just off. He wants that one back.
Yeah, but also credit to the Kalamazoo defense. I mean, really moving with these passes. I was going to mention the passes Trine is having right now, just back and forth, really are in an attempt to open up that Hornet defense, open up some gaps, some holes so that they can sneak one or two in there.
And there, try to sneak another shot in, but I believe a Hornet player got in the way. Unsure who it was, but Vlad didn't see the other end of that. And now you hear some fans upset. Thought Trine went out of bounds, but Molnar loses it, so it doesn't matter. The Hornets are going to keep possession. And excuse me, as I say that, completely wrong, but looks like they're going to be calling.
I believe it was a shove.
Yeah, I think you were right about that one, Maya. So
it was a shove in the back, and so that's going to maintain possession for the Hornets, and actually maybe a little bit lucky with that as well, because now they kind of have this chance and opportunity to slow it down and make sure possession just stays with them.
And Honda He's going to start this one out, and, I mean, he was feeling hot. He got hit hard from behind. I mean, he was kind of surprised about that one.
Yeah, waiting for the call and nothing there, so play on.
And Shaw from the Thunder has been moving like crazy. Kuratoa almost had some room there, but a good slide from Bungart. So Trine now going to reset, bringing those offensive players back in. We see Cruz swinging it back over to Booz. Booz, low shot, and a good save from Vlad.
Yeah, you know it's a good save when it comes back to one of your own players.
And Adkins, who had that first shot off, I mean, he's thinking about it. He shoots that one. Almost. But a good save from Arnold.
Yeah, Adkins feeling really good right now. I didn't expect him to take the shot off alone, especially it was mid-switch of all the players, so I thought maybe he might wait to reset the offense. Adkins showing off that he is not afraid right now to take a chance.
And, I mean, Trine gave him a lot of room, more room than I expected. And he wanted it, that's for sure. So some more good defense. This one stripped and kind of cupped in from some great defense. Kelly is with it, and Kelly full head of steam. I mean, he could have won a fresh shot there. He had a lot of room.
Yeah, I thought he might take it himself too.
But known as a defensive player, not his strong suit, of course. So back to the outside, Kubiak with it. Now swinging and swinging again. Kuratola quiet today, even though known to be one of the more strong offensive players. Kubiak gets the screen. Swings Kuratola now. And they're just taking their time. So some good defense from the Hornets right now. They've been doing a great job of recovering on those slides and filling the gaps. That one's just high. And it's going to go to the Hornets.
So more positives, already playing a lot different than they did in that first period. Already seeing a lot of those changes that happened during the break. And that's exciting to see if you're a Kalamazoo supporter, right? That's exciting to see these changes happening mid-game. That's how you know that a team is able to kind of adapt to what's going on in the situation. So Hornets still playing on that front foot, still attacking and looking to get a couple more before the end of the first half.
And we've got 9 minutes left in the first half. I mean, feels like a lot more has gone by in those last 6 minutes, but it's just been loaded with action, not a lot of breaks.
Yeah, it makes you kind of look at the watch and be like, oh, wow, like only that much time has passed. I mean, we've been here playing and a lot of shots have gone off, and now the Hornets also waking up in their own right, getting some shots off as well.
So Plesher in the X position, being guarded by Shaw. Shaw's done a really great job of stopping Plesher. And Plesher, I mean, going for it, but just a little too high.
And like you said, doing a good job stopping Plesher. That is one of the ways. Yes, Plesher was still able to get a shot off, but it was probably not as good as a quality shot that he wanted, especially going that high up over the goal.
And now making a move. That one tried his best to spin it through that corner, Honda.
That was a right idea from Honda, but it's kind of like when he turned, the angle wasn't right just yet, and he just let the shot off.
So 6 seconds on the shot clock. Plesher, nice pass. That one almost, even though it was a slow ball, Arnold almost was caught by surprise, I think.
Yeah, it was the right idea. I didn't expect the spin move. I thought maybe right off the pass he might just go for an attempt at goal, but opts for a spin, tries to regain some balance, and then lets the shot off.
And Kuratola. Now he's on the board. Quickly finds his stride and corners it in. That's just shooting practice for him.
Yeah, and takes back the goal that the Hornets took this period, right? They're trying to take shot. For every shot that they give up, they're trying to take one back. So that is the correct way to respond when a team is able to score. Now Hornets looking to do the same.
And so the Hornets, yes, had cut down that lead, but now after that, really nice shot from Curatola. And now the faceoff quickly won. And you think maybe they try to quickly get another shot in, but going to take their time again. And you see a lot of teams kind of do that rotation around the bend in that X area. Just makes the defense turn their heads, readjust. And there you see Pantano with a lot of room, but good recovery from the Hornets. Cook, pressure on, kicks the ball. This one goes to Bungart. Bungart can hold on, but something's going to be called. Must have been some off-ball contact, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much aggression behind the ball. Could also be the call here. Not too sure. Either way, possession remains with Trine after it got a little bit shaky.
And that shot clock resets, giving them a lot of time to work with. I mean, the first half has gone their way. The Hornets have started to clean it up. So what type of answer can Trine do and find? Back to the outside, Molnar swings. Ballantyne back to Curatola. And Curatola, I thought about it. Now in that expedition, tries to get past Cook. But a good slide there from Graff. Now Pantano. Some great defense from the Hornets right now, resulting in that turnover. Sears has got it. And he's quick, too. Him and Bless are two of the taller players on that Hornets team. And, I mean, Sears has got some speed to him.
I was going to say, it's easy to kind of make a transition play, especially when you have speed like that. You can utilize that in whatever sport, really.
And I've been talking to Sears about playing on this team, and he's told me before, and he loves it. He loves getting physical out there. Sometimes he talks about it like it's his job, and I think he really loves that. He knows his position and plays it well out there. And let's see if that pays off on the offensive end. Bless tried to go for it, and the race to get possession goes to the Hornets. And now looking to get something going here with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Adkins, the only scorer today.
Has been the most successful in trying to find a spot and let a shot off.
And now a swing pass. Going to Quinn. Quinn, he's quick. He might be small, but he's fast. That shot's low and good for Quinn.
And that has got to feel good, especially after a couple slip-ups earlier in that first period. Quinn being able to come back and take a shot. It's kind of like he's taking back whatever was taken from him in that first period.
Definitely. And with 3 seconds on the shot clock, takes a lot of guts, but sometimes it's what the shot clock's good for. Just forcing your way in, forcing you to make a move. And heck, maybe the Hornets just start doing that more.
Yeah,
you see the shot clock at 60. Hey, just go for it.
And be aggressive. I'm seeing these Hornets start to get a little bit on that front foot, starting to make those connections and not think too much about the shot. And that's exactly what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see these teams be creative and just go at it. Keep going. Let the shots off because something will land in that net.
And Everum fighting for that face-off. Ball still loose. Big contact. And goes to the Hornets.
Yeah, so, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, no, really. It's been happening a lot today on those face-offs, just very scrappy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's been the story, really. It's just based off these face-offs, nothing has been, like, cleared where one team was for sure 100% with the ball coming out of that circle, and it's just something interesting.
So 6-2 here, Hornets down, and Plesher wanted to go for the attack. Breeden getting pushed hard. He got tripped. That's going to be a flag. Of course. I mean, you put the stick low, you're going to be called for it.
Yeah, right there. And it wasn't a smart play at all. Just really almost sweeped his feet. Well, really did.
Yeah, I mean, that hurts as well. Probably going to have a bruise after that one. Ooh, hurts. So Asness taking his time, 30 seconds on that shot clock. Maybe this is where they feel comfortable with a little bit of pressure coming in from the clock. But Asness uncomfortable from Shaw. And now that flag thrown is going to give the Hornets some numbers here, yes.
So the Hornets playing a man up.
And in this season, man up hasn't been, I think, what they've expected. They've struggled sometimes with really going through with those type of power plays and converting them. Only 10 goals have been scored off having those man up situations. So Bless in that X position, he's really looking for it, but there doesn't matter. Plesher, full power.
Oh, Kalamazoo College.
Max Plesher making it look easy. Did you see the I mean, you said it, but did you see the power? I mean, it felt he was just whipping a shot out, and wow, Plesher, not a lot of words to describe that, but way to go. Full confidence in the back of the net, and then cuts that deficit in half. You're playing a whole different game right now. This is attainable for your team.
And you love to see that from him. They have numbers. They're expecting you to find the open man on some of these slides. Plesher realizes, I got room.
Yeah, I like that, but and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Be aggressive. If you have that space, why not take the shot instead of opting for the pass every time? So good to see here for the Hornets. I think they're finding that key, starting to find that answer of, okay, what do we got to do so that we're most successful, since you kind of have to change your approach for every team.
So the Hornets slowly creeping back in this one, only down by 3 now. And with 3 minutes remaining in the half, let's see if they can hold the Thunder off with another opportunity.
Yeah, it'd be Thunder's best case scenario to get one on the board. Even though, yeah, they're kind of leading here, you want one on the board just for momentum's sake.
And they're looking for those open lanes. Hornets have started to learn how to cover them. Fisher on that X position. He lost it. Graff, though, a high pass. That leaves the goal open, but my goodness. Don't know how.
That almost would have been an assist to the opposing team.
And Vogelweed, one of the leading scorers this season. Just surprised, I think, that he got that one.
Yeah, I think he almost didn't even know what to do with it when it landed in his stick. Like, what do you do with that, you know? It's kind of almost like a present. You just got to deal with it.
Panicked almost.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why his shot was off, the key off of where he needed, and unfortunate there. I mean, he's going to want to have that back. That's an opportunity you don't usually get, especially that close up to the front of the net.
So allowing that shot clock to reset. This gives them an opportunity to tick down the clock before halftime and use their offense. Cruz didn't use the screen. Gives it up to Booz. Booz not afraid to shoot. That one's a great deflection from Vlad. They are going to get it back. And Fisher is going to swing it right back to Booz. Man, Booz really wants something there. He shoots again. Vlad just grabs it. That one wasn't on target, but Vlad cleans it up.
Yeah, nice job by Vlad, too. Even though it wasn't on target, good job to kind of just secure that, especially after Trine has been able to get a couple shots off back-to-back.
And, man, I mean, some tough hits that Sears had to take there. That's the stuff he enjoys. But now it looks like the Hornets are going to take a timeout. They've got 1:37 left in the half, 60 seconds on the shot clock. Maya, they're looking good.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, the one thing I can say is continue playing how you're playing and how aggressive they're being. That's exactly the changes that I was kind of looking forward to after the first period. Is I seen a little bit of timidness, right? Like, should I let this shot off? Should we just continue to pass around the key? And I think it's even more positive when you're starting to see players just all over, like Plesher and everybody, just get a shot off. Just do it. Go for the net and see if you can kind of break that defense, especially when it comes to goalkeeper Luke Arnold that has such a high percentage. How can you beat him? And now that you see that you can and how you did, continue down that path. And I think that's what the Hornets are just going to try to see. And I think right now this timeout's a good idea just to kind of look at what do they got on the field and how can they get one more, at least one more, before the end of this period, or if not, just hold, trying at where they're at.
And looking at the first half, looking at the first period compared to the second period, big differences. I don't have the exact statistics in front of me right now, but the Hornets have done a good job of keeping the ball clean, playing some clean defense, and have outscored Trine 3-1 in this period, wanting to get it 4-1 or 5-1. I mean, you want to score as much as you can at this point. It's a shame they got off to such a rough start because this game would be a lot different if they cleaned it up a little bit earlier. But still, a lot of time left, a whole half to be played, and a whole minute 30 left in this period.
Yeah, and you talked about the differences between the first and second period. I mean, you look at the first period, and this is just the stats as they are now, right? Still needing to finish the second period, but you had 14 shots for Trine, 4 for Kalamazoo in that first period. Kalamazoo now is equaling with 8 and 8 this period, so doubled their shots from the last period, and now is kind of holding Trine off to just 8. Major improvements from that first period.
So making it equal, both teams equal opportunities in this quarter or period to score. And Plesher, after the timeout, going to kick this off. And gives it up to Bless. Although Kalamazoo did call the timeout, Trine also has some time to talk it over and adjust their defense.
Yeah, wouldn't that be an interesting rule change to be like the team that calls the timeout, that's the only ones that can meet up and
with
discuss?
Their coach,
That'd be pretty interesting.
That would be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that in any sport, but it doesn't really matter today. And right now, Kalamazoo just holding on to it. You got 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Now they're making their move. Must have been the play that they drew up. Breeden, another screen there. And now a penalty is called. I see him pointing towards Trine's side.
Yeah, like possession, maybe flipping, or or are they sending a player off?
I see number 48, Levin, going off the field. I think they got a man-up opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's a Kalamazoo man-up opportunity to reset in the clock as well, 60 seconds to shoot.
And this is one of the sports where they don't have a clear hand indicator of what exactly the call is. But either way, going to be a man-up situation and gives the Hornets a really great chance now. They've got a shot clock that outplays the game clock, so they have all the time in the world.
And it looks like the call is going to be roughness.
Okay. So here we go, just swinging again. Wouldn't mind Plesher swinging it back, though.
Yeah, I think to get a clean shot, they got to get a little bit closer.
And Adkins tries to go to the middle to Breeden, and man, it's not a bad idea, but doesn't pay off. And with 2 seconds, just trying to keep it, and they do. So, 6-3, Trine with the lead, but the Hornets coming back into this one, outscoring them in the second period, and doing all the things they need to do to stay in this game, really.
Yeah, and not a lot of differences from that first time I brought it up, but again, biggest improvement has been that shots on goal, has been the shots in general, right? 5-5 shots on goals in the second period, and then in that first, it was 11-3 with Trine with 11 shots on goal. So that has been the biggest kind of change from that first to second period, and that has been the biggest improvement. Something that is positive to see for this Kalamazoo side is that they're able to kind of break away at that deficit and maybe come out with a little bit more confidence into this second half.
And Maya, you said it there. I mean, it's been a great game. That second period was a fun one to watch, I gotta say. And this game is going to be a battle in the second half. With already how physical it's been, it is going to stay a battle. Trying right now, those 2 man-up opportunities they gave to the Hornets, probably going to want to clean that up in the second half. You can't allow a team with so many offensive powerhouses to have, more players out there, of course. And going to be interested to see what changes Trine makes now. Because you got the Hornets who have been doing such a good job of adjusting defensively. They know the slides are going to be taken advantage of. They know they have to recover a little bit quicker, but they're going to have to stay off just a tiny bit more. Curious what offensive adjustments Trine's going to make. Maybe coach is going to drop a play or something, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how this second half plays out.
100% there. So we're going to take a quick break here around 8 minutes before the second half starts, and we'll be back with you in just a little bit. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. We're just about to get back to the action here on Mackenzie Field. Took a nice little break. I finished up my taco Maya. It's delicious.
Hey, I said those tacos gave me a lot of energy coming into this game. I'm feeling great.
And certainly had a little energy boost in that way. And we were looking at some stats here at halftime, and I think just generally right now it's a little bit closer in the numbers just because of that second period for the Hornets. I mean, the turnover rate is still a little bit rough for them. They have 11 turnovers, and 10 of them were caused by Trine, which is an impressive number, but majority of that was in the first period. Only 4 of those came from the second. And now after halftime, you know, as you get more and more warm, as the weather gets colder, you get a little bit more warm, just you've been playing a little bit better, and I bet you that'll clean up just naturally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you literally said it better than I could probably, but like you were saying, it was first period lopsided towards Trine, right? Trine really excelling in that first period. And then in the second period, that's when stuff started to even out, as you say, where kind of Kalamazoo came out on top. So if this was kind of like a boxing match where you score round by round, then I'd feel like that second one would be for Kalamazoo and first would be for Trine.
Definitely, not just scoring, but in all aspects in that way, yes. So, Trine with it, and looking to kind of cut down some problems they've had. I mean, they were able to respond once in that second period off a really great shot from Curatola. And here we see Ballantyne, low pass, bounce pass there, but still controlled. Pantano, that one's good though from Ballantyne. Ballantyne gives his kudos to Pantano. Just some great offense there.
Yeah, and a great way to start off the second half.
Yeah.
And just a phenomenal shot. I mean, those are the shots that both teams have been pretty kind of lucky with in terms of making them goals. You've seen a couple from Kalamazoo's side just be these quick, sharp shots into the net, and that's exactly what we just seen just now.
Yeah, and I think those are the textbook plays. You see Pantano swing it back around, just catching the Hornets off guard. Hornets got to be careful. Can't let up those type of moments. His face-off, though, is going to go to them. So going to have an opportunity to respond and keep this one as close as they can. So Breeden to Honda, now to Plusher. Those 3 names, we mention them so many times because they're just dominant out there. Adkins as well, Bless as well. Breeden with some room. That one just caught by Arnold. Arnold, he's got an eye for the ball out there. Gives it back to Shaw. Shaw doing a good job of moving it to the offensive end there. And Curatola
showing off the speed, really. Made his way from the bottom of the field to the top, and that was just really, really quick.
And Curatola and Pantano, both from Staten Island, New York, same school, played with each other in high school. So good to see those two sharing the field and sharing the ball. Both of them with all that experience and playing with each other out there, it's got to be a big difference maker. So, on the offensive end, that one, just a low pass from Cruz. And you hear some Kalamazoo fans get a little excited about that one. That's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, they kind of needed that right there, and now an opportunity to kind of switch momentum, especially now since Kalamazoo can kind of get on this offensive foot, really.
And the more time that ticks off the clock when you're on the offensive end, or excuse me, when you're on the defensive end playing against such a good offense like Trine, you know, your stomach starts to turn a little bit because it just keeps ticking down. When is the shot going to come off? And are we able to stop it? And so there, just kind of bailed out by a rough pass, and Hornets with Honda thinking about making a move.
Yeah, and Honda has been this key player where the Hornets reset and choose to go to Honda. He's been able to create a couple of spaces and opportunities for this Hornet side.
And Adkins A lot of pressure on him today as he is one of the scorers here. And there, shot's almost off. A big push, though. Asness on the ground after that one. Tried to go through a couple players to get that one off. He was in a good position. And there, that one powers through. And it looks like Trine has found their stride again. Vogelweed, another one on the board.
Yeah, it almost feels like maybe history is repeating itself. Like, could we see a repeat of first and second period where Trine comes out hot and then ends up kind of a little bit softer than which they started? Either way, Hornets got to figure out a way to make sure that pattern doesn't stay true, because it's not going to be enough to even out the score. They got to score in this third period.
That's going to be Vogelweed's 4th goal in this one. Already had the hat trick. Now he's got another. And you certainly see the matchups today are pretty equal. I mean, there hasn't been anyone really getting beat out there. It's just smart ball movement and smart play calling.
Yeah, taking the right shots when you need to.
Definitely. So Trine back on that offensive end. Haven't seen a lot of opportunities from the X today. Been attacking pretty much straight on the goal. But here, Curatola gets a nice screen. But the Hornets stay physical. Curatola with some room and push to the outside. But there, had some more room. And again, Maya slips through the legs of Alad. And now they're back right where they started, and then some.
Yeah, and I know you're just coming out of the halftime, and maybe you don't want to call the timeout, but I think, again, you don't want to repeat that first period. You've already let 3 in this period, and so I think take the timeout if you need to, if you need to reset your team. Sometimes the initial kind of talking to doesn't work.
And a little unlucky from Daly there. You saw him slip, trying to play defense on Curatola. Curatola almost pulls the chair out and had that room for such a nice shot. Ooh, and you hear some people in the stands talking about how during that faceoff, looks like number 56 for Trine, Danny Kelly, stepped over the line, but no call there. You know, there's always a few missed in every single sport.
Especially at the start of a faceoff, there's so much to keep an eye on.
Right. You're not always directed right at the people who are outside of the ball, you know. Hard thing to keep track of. But now, after winning the faceoff, Ballantyne has got it on the outside, trying to go in. Ballantyne hasn't been given a lot of room today. And back to him. A nice spin, has that room. Good pass. Again, Vogelweed.
Vogelweed has had some nice shots and some nice goals today. And right there, I mean, he really created that room for himself.
And you feel a little, I mean, I don't know what the right word for this is, Maya, because it's not necessarily defeating quite yet. But with 5 minutes going off the clock and 4 goals scored already from Trine, it's a rough emotion. It's a rough thing to go through.
Yeah, you can definitely tell momentum not really on Kalamazoo's side. And I think, again, I'm going to repeat what I said in that first period. It really takes anything to kind of blow the cover. And so if the Hornets need to score another one, that's that medicine that they need. They need to continue to be aggressive and be a little bit smarter on this defensive side.
And one good adjustment I think we can note from Trine is they've won those faceoffs, which has given them more opportunities on the offensive end, of course, but also staying persistent during the faceoff, passing it back to their goalkeeper, Arnold, has allowed them to reset and stay a little bit more clean, even though there's only about 5 minutes off the clock or so. But there, pass just given up to Cook. And Cook, nice pass to Bungart. And had some numbers, and the shot was off from Bless, but, man, it's one of those you might think, should you have taken your time and allowed your offense to get a better shot?
Yeah, I like the idea by Bless to kind of go to that top corner, but I think you're right. I feel like there wasn't enough of an opening for Bless to kind of take that shot and secure a goal. I feel like maybe it might have been better if he opted to wait or either shove off the pass to someone else.
And, I mean, you said it, Maya. That's a tough situation to be in. You have, like, a fast break opportunity, and you want to convert. No convert there. And now a couple more opportunities for Trine. You just want to see the Hornets get on the offensive end there. Quinn with some decent defense, not allowing him to get through. This ball is loose. Got to make sure Vlad doesn't get out of the goal. Vlad tried his best, but there, Trine again taking advantage of their opportunities. And not even really energy from Trine now. It's just a job for him.
Yeah, right there. Not a lot to save. A lot. Obviously getting caught off a little bit off guard, a little bit out of position. Try to kind of compensate for himself and didn't end up in his favor. Either way, Trine has to be a little bit happy with kind of how they're making these connections. Since that first period, they've been pretty good. They've been doing a pretty good job of making these connections, making these passes, opening up space within the Kalamazoo defense. And it wasn't until that second period where Kalamazoo was able to bunker down that they didn't have that same success. So Kalamazoo looking to kind of regain that answer. Sometimes you got to make an adjustment mid-game, and that's what they're looking to do right now.
Yeah, need that adjustment right now with 8 minutes left in the third period. You know, if you take a look at that Hope game as an example for both teams, I think that serves as a good moment to see kind of the offensive and defensive abilities of Trine. Trine allowed them to score 10 goals, but their offense is just so powerful, so good, that today they're showing they might be the better team. Honda on the move to Plesher. Plesher, this is not an uncomfortable spot for him, and if he gets it through, no, not enough room. Bless trying to give it back, but the long stick puts some emphasis on the ball, and Bless gets it stolen from.
Well, still a lot of time in this third period. I mean, you still have 7 minutes to try to get yourself on that scoreboard again. Some room for Kalamazoo to work with. And I've seen teams come back from greater deficits.
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, earlier this season, although it wasn't a win for the women's lacrosse team, they scored, what, 3 goals in 1 minute?
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen. So keep an eye on that. Thought about shooting it. A nice pass there. Now back to Curatola. Curatola back to his buddy, Pintano. And now Pantano gets the screen, ignores it, and that one way off.
Yeah, ripped.
Yeah, whoa. I mean, he had some power on it, but doesn't find its way. A good job, though, from the Thunder. Volgaweed in the right spot at the right time. 20 seconds left on this shot clock, though. Need to find something quick. Good hit there from the Hornet Sears. I mean, he's one of the better defensive players on this team, as we said. Always likes to put that power on the ball. And now shot clock ticking down. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get something off. And although they did take the shot, might have just been a little too late. You see the referee call that one. So that's a win for the Hornets in the defensive department.
Yeah, defensively, that was greatly played by the Hornets. I mean, exactly what you want to see. And then going to be followed by a quick slip-up. Unfortunate, but it happens from time to time. Got to roll with the punches.
And, yep, it does. Kind of a throwaway moment for them, but it's okay. I think they can keep that good defensive, pressure up. They've been able to do it. Saw them do it in that second period. Just don't know what changed, really. I'm going to try to put my thinking cap on or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Me and you both, right? Trying to find that distinguishing factor has been kind of our challenge today. What's been the major difference? I don't know.
And now pass goes too high for the Thunder, trying to find Erickson.
So a small errors on both sides kind of flips position.
Yeah, a little reset for both teams in that way. Bungart back to Vlad. Vlad, it always scares me when he gets out of a goal that far. It's just a little risky with how much pressure Trine puts on the defensive end, trying to protect and secure the clears. Or excuse me, disrupt the clears for the Hornets. Now from that X position, giving it to Bless. Bless gets the screen, but some good defense there from the long stick. Bless tried to go for a kind of a falling shot, and Arnold cleans it up.
Yeah, Arnold has continued to make big-time saves when the Hornets are carrying momentum.
And Kaufman had some good defense there on that possession to disrupt Bless. So again, Trine possession on the offensive end. It's kind of been the story in this period. Just been able to stay persistent, stay consistent, and powerful when scoring and swinging the ball. Haven't seen as many quick passing plays from them, but a lot of these shots have been off assist. Instead of finding the open man to create the dodges, just kind of find the open man on the cuts. There, shots off. That one's way wide.
Yeah, not the type of shot I think he wanted to like go right there, but exactly as he said, I mean, Hornets now just need to find some opportunities. They need to gain possession and keep possession. That's been the main issue, I think, of this third period is keeping possession once you have it.
And there, a nice pass from Curatola down to lane. And Cruz finds himself on and in the right position for that one.
Yeah, and when you're that close and you're able to connect the pass to Cruz like that, there's not much you can do when you're the opposing side. There's not much you can do defensively, especially when Cruz is already that close to the crease, that close to the goal. Really, it's all only up to your last line of defense, Vlad, and there's just been a lot to ask from for Vlad today, given that the defense has been kind of broken up by Trine.
And Cruz, his height is not listed here, but he is a towering figure on the field. This face-off is going to go to Trine, and this reset. I mean, this is so well drawn up. They do it very perfectly. They don't panic. They have a good amount of energy. So I'd like to see that from the Thunder. That's something they really haven't messed up on, is kind of the minor errors. And we're going to start to see them have a little more fun with it, I think. Like you see a lot of these players going for more dodges. You see more players who haven't gotten as much playing time out there. Haven't seen Bell in this game all too much, who had it, now swung it to Pantoa. Now a deep shot. That one's saved by Vlad. That's got to feel good. After a couple shots have not gone his way, that's got to feel nice to make a good save. So here, Hornets get the clear, give it to Sears. Chance to reset, figure it out there.
2 minutes and 7 seconds. Try to get a shot off. Scratching, of course, the shot clock.
And that's probably a great time to take a timeout. I mean, Trine is doing so well right now. You're the Hornets down 9 goals. That's going to be a tough one to come back from. But if you do it right, it's possible.
Yeah, again, just working on those connections, kind of keeping the defense tight, and then also offensively just maintaining that possession, something the Hornets can do.
Well, it looks like I think goalkeeper for Trine is going to take a break. Arnold, I think I just saw him run to the bathroom or something. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but
and you know what?
Hey, nature's calling.
Of course, if you're not on the field, you don't really know the setup right now, but it's going to have to run to the field house.
Oh, yeah. He's got quite a ways to go there.
Yeah, so a quick little timeout here. I think we'll give the stream a second as well to kind of gather themselves, and then we'll come back right here after the timeout and after, of course, the small break.
All right, back to action here, and I think goalkeeper for Trine is going to be taking a break here, and Galris is in. He's played in 8 of these games this season, started in 5. Just equally as good of a goalkeeper, having a save percentage around 70%. Hasn't played as much, but still has gotten some time on the field. So fight for it. Turnover goes towards Trine. Kind of a one-handed catch there from Harmon, I believe. And now back to Curatola. We've said it so many times today. They've just done such a good job of swinging the ball. And the Hornets, it's been hard to make a difference, I think, on that defensive end. Looks like a flag is going to be thrown. Don't know who it's going to be on.
Probably something off the ball is what I'm thinking.
And if it's on the Hornets, this one's really going to sting. We'll have to see. I don't see anyone kind of figuring it out. I think everyone's a little bit confused.
And I don't know if it's going to happen before the end of this third period. I'm not sure if they're going to enforce it.
Might have to start. But also there's 25 seconds on the shot clock, 35 seconds on the game clock. So maybe with the 10 seconds left, but uncertain. And we see Trine was taking their time to reset. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. I mean, they probably don't feel like they need to get a huge shot off. They're just going to let the period end, I think. Give the ball to the Hornets. And so clock does stop. I think it's going to be a violation on Trine. I see the official pointing to the Hornets sideline, making some gestures towards the people who are keeping track of this whole thing.
Scoring desk over there.
Yeah, and it looks like number 7, Adkins, is going to be in the box.
Maybe, might be. It's always so confusing. So many players up there by the penalty box.
And you get players subbing in right there. You get players not subbing in right there. I also see number 24, Sears, over there. Okay, so what we heard was too many men on the field, which is an interesting one.
Subbing too many men on the field.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. They're just going to let that period come to an end.
Yeah.
Which probably is the best decision. That was a strange one.
I think there was a lot of violations going back and forth.
I don't know what's going on.
With 10 seconds left, you might as well just let the period end.
Yeah. And, we are in college sports. You want to be accurate at all times, but it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, let's just move on.
How many calls can you kind of
how much
give here?
How much of a difference can it make with those 10 seconds?
Exactly.
So, good question. And so a minute goes by of kind of no action, trying just letting themselves breathe. And if we're looking at some stats here, it's just been a slaughter from Trine in that period. Now they've got 32 shots on goal compared to the Kalamazoo 16, doubling their opportunities at that point. And majority of those have been on goal, been very accurate in that way. They've been winning on ground balls, 30-19. Hornets have done a good job on turnovers this quarter. That's a good stat. Only 4 there, which is an improvement. Or excuse me, only 3 there, which is a good improvement. But, again, Trine doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, and on top of that, you got to keep in mind so many things here, and it's just that this team is so very capable of switching on a dime if they wanted to. And now I'm just looking to see is how can this mindset change? How can they get a couple more onto the scoreboard before the end of the fourth period? You still got a whole period left to play, and that's kind of the mentality of all Kalamazoo sports teams is that no matter what the score is, you don't give up the game, and I'm looking to see how they're going to choose and decide to end this game. Like, what is the final score going to look like in comparison to what we see right now?
And that's a good question. I mean, anything is possible. You want to go in with a full head of steam. I know the Hornets will go in with a full head of steam. Vlad is still out there, and goalkeeper Galris for Trine is out there as well. Trine's going to start this period with the ball, so number 31. Vogelweed said his name many times. He's got 5 goals today, which has got to feel great. That's going to put him as the leading goal scorer this season ahead of Curatola. And there on the inside, had some room, a lot of contact from the Hornets, had to escape out of there. I mean, that's right in the position where you want to score. But now, pass back out to Curatola. Cook almost got him from behind as he's coming in for the sub. Curatola, nice pass. That one's deflected. And the Hornets doing a good job of crashing right now on those shots. That's got to feel nice and refreshing. Bungart pulls away with it. Now back to Vlad here. Upfield to Honda. And Honda's going to let everyone get into position. Breeden's going to come right back on. And Breeden hasn't had a lot of action today.
Yeah, it has been kind of quiet actually behind the ball, and that's actually something what I wanted to talk about.
And there you have it. That one's going to go through. Starting quick, that's what you need to do. And Plesher on the board once again after a dry spelt. And a nice bouncing shot. That one was very nice and impressive. Almost was off, though. Very close to being shot off the goalpost.
Exactly, and that's something that you want to see if you're on this Hornet side is, okay, how can we get these shots off? You just seen right there, very capable. They just got to find those windows, and they can't take for granted any small window. You got to just go for it.
And so the Hornets win that faceoff. Looked at the reset back on the defensive end, but didn't need it. So Sears to Bless. Bless, all-time offensive player. He's almost always out there. And now back around to Plesher. So Honda's kind of been the facilitator today. They've given him the ball to set up this offense quite a bit. In the X now. Looking for some cuts. Some good defense on him, though. Man, he's got some good movement, but the slides are just coming perfectly right now. Now Bless has a sides advantage. That one finds its way through. My goodness, Maya. Slowly kind of creeping back in, which is interesting. 2 goals within 45 seconds.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Slowly but surely kind of cutting away at that deficit. I told you, as long as they can continue to go at it and continue to apply that pressure, take advantage of the small windows when they're given to them, I mean, then you're looking at a different game. So Hornets doing a really good job of kind of switching up momentum despite what the scoreboard looks like.
And Bless found that matchup on Loopold and really knew what he had. And, wow, they are fighting for it right now. Who's going to come away with it? It's still loose. Players tripping. And this one is finally cleaned up from Kelly. And Kelly wants to go for it. A good save from Vlad. And kind of an odd situation there.
Yeah, got a little interesting.
But it doesn't matter because pass was off from the Hornets. And instead of Kelly going for the shot, takes his time and lets his team reset. So now in the X is Fisher, kind of taking a similar role as Honda today of just facilitating that offense. Hasn't had a lot of shots on goal. Johnson with some speed. The slide came. Now Fisher back outside to Kubiak. And just swinging again. This is where they find open players and start to use the screens. There, Fisher with some room. That one's high, but is going to go right back to him. And you see Arnold coming back to his sidelines. I don't know if you could see him. And so 25 seconds on the shot clock here. Hornets have had some good moments, haven't forced a lot of turnovers, but have had good holds on that defensive end, not allowing a lot of people to get shots off. Johnson, that one's off, and it's going to stay with them.
Yeah, right now Hornets just trying to break up this pattern of letting Trine get a shot off and then Trine continuing to have possession following the shot off.
And not only are they getting some shots and finding their shots, time is ticking. If they want to find their way back into this game, time is ticking. So Johnson with some room is going to go back at it. That one's good, and they're feeling it once again.
Yeah, that one's going to make it a little bit harder for Kalamazoo to kind of maintain this momentum, but it's like I said, you switch up how you approach the attack, you switch up whatever you got to, and continue to chip away at the deficit no matter where you're at the game.
And you're absolutely right, Maya. You start to chip away 2-1 in this fourth period in scoring. And the Hornets, you know, are they going to keep that kind of mentality of let's just get a shot off? Because these shots they've been able to take, they haven't taken as many, but they've been a lot more accurate than Trine today. But oh my goodness,
that
Fisher.
was beautiful.
Fisher finds the line and slips it through again. Today, Maya, has been a fantastic day for the Thunder. And, you know, kind of finding themselves in the same position, up by 9. They found their 2 responses back to back. And Fisher, as I said, wasn't on the board, has been quieter today. Now Loud with that goal. And, you know, Quinn fighting for it on that faceoff is going to go right back at him on that offensive end. Majority of this time has been spent looking on the left end of this field towards the Thunder's gray jerseys. And it starts to get a little bit cooler out there. I don't know if you've noticed, Maya, I had to put on a jacket.
Chilly,
yeah.
a tad bit chilly.
Indeed, and when you're taking so much time on that offensive end, players start to, you know, you're staying loose, of course, but gives some time to get chilly. And that pass there, almost really nice to Fisher, was a great idea. And Valad just kind of throws it up there, fighting for it now. Who's going to come away? And it looks like Thunder have got it. Levin did a good job of securing his body around that one between his legs. Or excuse me, it actually might have been Minobi who got that one there. Those are the type of skills you need on the defensive end. You know how to use your body, not just your stick, but you know how to use your body and separate yourself from your opponents. And we see Slazik with it. Swinging it around even more. You see players who haven't been out there all too much, but Fisher is going to stay in. Molnar now back to Slazik. Slazik, he wants to give himself a shot, and oh my goodness, a nice move, but a good slide. Pass is just off. They were trying to find Volgaweed and weren't able to. It's the right idea, though.
Yeah, a lot of good movement coming from this Trine side, but that's been true for majority of the game. It's these Hornets, when they choose to wake up, they've been really, really solid.
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of these shots that Trine they've been finding in the second half, the whole second half really, have been off great assists and passes. In the first half, they got a lot of their shots off just great movement and great, skills on the offensive end, but nothing. Breeden got a shot off, but just off and low, and Gaunis gets it.
Yeah, Breeden has been knocking at that door, has been trying to just get a shot in there, and unfortunately has not been able to unlock it just yet. But it's positive to see him still taking these shots, still taking these risks, because right there, if that would have snuck into the net, I'll tell you right now, it'd be a big momentum shift, especially when a goal scorer who you rely on gets one finally this late into the game.
Yeah, and so Edwards going to swing back around to Bell. And you see Marshall, a lot of room, going for the shot. Saved by Vela. That's a clean save, too. No problems whatsoever there. And now to Cook. And Cook finds himself securing the clear for his squad and teammates. Going to the X, giving it up to Bless. Not a familiar spot for Cook, but he's out there. And so now the Hornets have run this offense a couple times. The goal is to look for that cutter, the open man, and have a couple opportunities on the outside, which allows them to reset. But hasn't been successful today. I think Trine knows what's going to happen and has just done a good job of stopping that. Quinn, quick out there. I mean, spin move after spin move. A lot of room, but the long stick in his way. Bless from the X, spins, shots off, but might have been a pass actually. Either way, it was a good job by Gaunis to just put out his hands, put out his net, and catch it.
Yeah, Gaunis able to kind of just snuff out the play here. And it was an unfortunate one for Kalamazoo because I thought the buildup was everything that they needed to try to get a shot in the back of the net.
And all the right tools, all the right moves, as you said. But, yeah, just been a tough one in this period and half for them. Can't get the lid off the goal with two good goalkeepers in Gaunis and Arnold. I mean, they've got themselves set. If one of, it's a win-win situation for them there. So Trine doing some good ball movement once again. Has some room. That one's low and wide left. And the shot from Zastrow. Can't get through, so here they are once again, resetting. Zastrow with it again. Edwards taking his time. And now sun has pretty much fully set here. It's getting dark. The lights are on. And, shot is off there. That one's wide. But as I was saying, Maya, as the shot clock ticks down to 4 seconds, this one's probably going to go back to the Hornets unless some sort of miracle happens. And that one's just a fly. High ball going to go to the Hornets. But, although it might not be going in the Hornets' favor here at the home field, it's quite a beautiful night for them. And it is... it's nice to see spring in full swing here.
Yeah, honestly, the sun was out earlier today, really bright, nice and warm, and then the subtle breeze, obviously getting a little colder into the night now, but either way, it's been some nice weather to have a full day of sports. I've been happy and really glad to have broadcasted this late into the day, especially when I see the teams out there having fun, and right now this Hornet team still trying to break down this defensive pressure that is trying. Just seeing how creative the team has been getting as the game goes on.
Yeah, and there they put the pressure on the defensive end, doing a good job of holding possession there. Saw Breeden trying to get some room once again out on the field, but no, it is nice. I mean, I looked at the weather for this week. These players are going to have pretty enjoyable time. It's going to be in the 70s. It's going to be sprinkles here and there, but
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
nice.
The 70s is nice, and then you look over and a couple sprinkles here and there, like you mentioned, that kind of throws me off, especially out here. I just don't expect it to rain when the weather's that nice.
I know, and you wish it doesn't, but just the way it is. Thankfully, nothing low. Breeden, shot goes to Gaunis, no problem at all. And Breeden has been the facilitator those last few plays. He wants to get himself on the board. He was the lone scorer in that Hope game where he found himself just wide open, actually, in one of the plays. I mean, just fortunate to find himself there because of how good Hope is. I mean, they're the one team that really stands out in the MIAA as truly dominant. I'm curious to see that matchup between them and Calvin. And overall, if six out of the 7 teams make it into the MIAA lacrosse playoffs, so not too much of a concern in that sense.
I think for the Hornets right now, again, time is 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the fourth period, the final period at that. And I think right now they're just looking to get a couple more into the goal. I mean, honestly, again, as the time dwindles out, your opportunities to close such a large gap get smaller and smaller. But just adding to the scoreboard and making the deficit less is what they're kind of looking forward to. And I feel like knowing this team is very capable, knowing that they can choose to kind of lock in here and get a couple more if they want to, very doable for this team.
It is very doable. I mean, 2 goals in a minute we saw earlier around the 13-minute mark, which was impressive. And with 2 minutes left, might be out of reach for them, but we just want to see something going. It's a great way to kind of end the game. Just feels nice to get that lid off and know you still got it, because this team certainly still's got it. They've gotten some great wins, and that one at Adrian was nice in the MIAA, but now you see Thunder just being dominant again on the defensive end, and with such a huge roster, they're playing everyone. You know, I got to do my homework, I think, a little bit more before this game, because this is one of the biggest rosters I think I have seen across, I mean, aside from football, of course, is one of the biggest rosters I have seen on a lacrosse team and on a team in general. So,
and especially at an away game.
Right.
Like, to travel and take all your players, that's a pretty big accomplishment, especially for a roster as large as theirs.
And you can tell that having a big roster like that allows these players to develop more and more. Curatola and Panto, geez, man, I'm losing my speaking abilities here with a minute left.
I get it. It's later into the day now.
It is. But still, as I was saying, they've got a lot of potential to develop these players and lead their way into being an even better team than they are right now, sitting at 11-3, going to be 12-3 after this game. Looking at the leading scorers here today with 30 seconds left on the clock. Volgaweed, is a fantastic player. I mean, we saw him take open shots, make it look easy out there. 5 goals on the day. Curatola with 2, and Johnson with 2 as well, which is a little bit more surprising. Hasn't had as much action as Curatola has, and Volgaweed. This one's going to go wide for the Hornets. And with 8 seconds left on the clock, maybe they can get a quick one through. Just toss it up there. Yeah, alley-oop maybe. And Adkins gives it up. That one just a little behind the goal. And time is up. That's going to leave it here. Trine taking this one pretty easily with 14-5 against the Hornets. And as I was going through some of the scores here today, there's been quite a few for Trine. I mean, a lot of people have gotten a lot of action. Curatola with some. Pantano's got some. Johnson with 2. Zastro with 1. Fisher with 1. We said it before. Volgaweed with 5. Cruz with 1. And, I mean, they're just fantastic squad. I mean, anything you want to look at in particular, Maya?
No, of course, didn't go the way that the Hornets wanted it to, but you look over at that second period and you know it's possible for them to kind of ride out the game if they are able to hold on to what they had in that second period. It has to have been their best period out of the entirety of the game, and then after that it kind of just dwindled out. But if they can kind of zoom in there, look at what they had and build off of that second period, whoever they had on the field, whatever was working out, whether it was being less timid, whether it was being more aggressive or choosing your shots, I feel like if you look a little closer into that period, you zoom in as a player and you say, okay, how can I stretch out how I played to the rest of the game and in the beginning of the game? How do we do that to start coming out with some more defying wins against some of these stronger opponents? Either way, again, it was a strong game played by Trine. It's hard to go against such a solid team. But then when you see that you're able to compete like you did in that second period, you know it's possible to do it in that first, third, and fourth, and maybe even come out with a win here.
100%, Maya. I think it's just starting the game out a little bit rough. Started to play a lot better in that second period, and looking at the stats in the fourth period as well, started to adjust, but just a little too late. Mentioned that even early in this game, with such a huge lead they had, it's really hard to come back, not only just scoring-wise, but mentally as well. You can never be truly defeated when you're playing lacrosse or any sort of sport. You never want to be truly defeated. But today, I mean, Trine, just pure dominance.
Yeah, and all you can do as a Hornet right now is you look at this game, you put it in your repertoire, you put it in your memory, and you use it as fuel for next time.
100% there, Maya. The Hornets in their next matchup are going to be going against Albion here at home. So next Saturday, they've got a whole week to refresh, rehydrate, rechill, whatever you want to say. I mean, they are going to get a nice break there. But I think that's going to wrap it up here for me, Maya. Anything else you want to add?
No, you pretty much said it exactly how it should be, right? We look forward to the next game, especially with us possibly broadcasting or anything of the sort. Either way, whoever broadcasts has definitely got you covered.
100% there. I'm Quentin Powers.
And my name is Maya Pasillas.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.